Hello and welcome back to Heads Will Roll Reforged. We're currently in the town of York. This is the first time that we've ever gotten here. This is my squad. We're absolutely fine. We've got a massive amount of cash, as you might expect. And unfortunately, I don't actually know how we're supposed to go and even speak to the mayor, because that is our first task. I'm going to speak to the sergeant. Okay, no, he's just gonna sell us some people. Question the mayor of York about the situation in the city and its surroundings. I guess, there we go. It's the travel section. All right, we're going to go into the mayor's residence now and see what he has to say. Wasting no time, you head straight to the mayor's residence, but there you will be disappointed. The mayor is not there. His people respond to your questions extremely briefly and vaguely, stating that the burgomaster has left on business, and where exactly is none of their business. Questions regarding the location of the Scottish troops, as well as the state of affairs in the city, are also perceived by them with absolute apathy and remain without a specific answer. The feeling that something is obviously wrong here immediately creeps into your head. Bewildered by the coldness and taciturnity of the steward and the captain of the guard, you find yourself even more surprised when one of the maids unexpectedly approaches you and, making sure that no one else is around, starts talking. "Forgive my rudeness, sire. I heard you talking to the steward about the mayor and thought I could be of help." "What's your name?" "My name is Lena, sire. I am a maid here at the residence. I keep the place clean and also help in the kitchen. My father got me this job a couple of years ago. My family comes from a village nearby. At first they told us that there's no need for a maid, but once they have tasted my cooking, they changed their mind." "Why do you want to help me?" "I know who you are. Sir Critical Viscount of Hereford. Rumors spread quickly here in York. People say that the king has sent you here to save us, to protect us from the Scots, and to finally bring order to the northern lands. For an ordinary maid, you're rather well informed. It's all correct, but judging by the behavior of the steward and the captain of the guard, they don't seem to be all that concerned with any of those issues." "It's the mayor, sire. When I first got here, he was different. Normal. He kept track of any city affairs, fought crime, but about a year and a half ago, something began to happen to him. It's almost as if he turned into another man." "What's that supposed to mean? Don't speak in riddles." "I'm just a maid, sire. I might hear a thing or two now and again, but no one's letting me in on any serious affairs." "Especially not the mayor." "Tell me everything you know." "I was telling you. So just like I said, about a year or so ago, something happened to him. He started to change, became detached, secluded, acting weird, almost ceased showing up in public. And then all of a sudden charged his own son with treason and ordered to execute him. May God rest his soul. After that, pretty much on the next day, he threw out all of his old counselors and advisors from the local nobility who have been helping him to manage the city and replaced them with I don't even know who. Now nobody is watching over the city. It's gotten to the point where it was the head of the local trade guild who informed the king about this Scottish invasion. The mayor doesn't seem to care at all." "That's intriguing. And what might be the reason for such a change in his character?" "I have no idea. You'll have to ask him." "I would love to do that, but he's nowhere to be found." "I'm pretty sure he's in prison right now." "Huh? What do you mean, in prison?" "That's what we call an ancient fort at the western end of the city across the river, since all the criminals are kept there. In recent months, the mayor has been regularly visiting it with his bodyguards. It's the only place where he can be found if he's not in the residence." "And what the hell is he doing there?" "Sire, I'm a maid, not a spy, and it's really not in my habit to stick my nose into somebody else's business." "Okay, she's a spy." "Well, maybe only a little." "Thank you for the help. I'll pay a visit to that prison of yours." "I am so happy to see you here, sire. I already feel much safer." And we've met waifu number 7. Well, you know, one of them, at the very least. I don't even know. Are there actually 7? Let me actually take a look. Yeah, there are actually 7. I missed one. I think that's... Isn't that... Wait. What is it? Cecilia, Eva, Olivia, Anna, Alyssa, and... Who's here? Which one is here? Am I forgetting someone? I'm definitely forgetting someone, but maybe I haven't met them yet. Have I met them? Maybe I haven't even met them yet. Anyway, yeah. So Lena is the next one that we'll try to court, I suppose, and we're going to see how that goes. Okay, so first of all, we want to go to the prison. There we go. You can easily find the prison building that Lena was talking about. Rain and a cloudy sky give the already gloomy-looking fort a completely infernal look, as if turning it into a grim omen of future troubles. Cold and twilight reign inside, which are only in some places pierced by the light of rare candles. A booming echo carries throughout the building, the howling of the wind, the splashing of drops of water falling from the roof, and the heavy groans of the prisoners. The guards inside are trying to block your way, but the mention of the king's name brings them to their senses. Following the instructions of the guard, who informed you that the burgomaster is on the lowest tier, you descend down the spiral staircase, passing level after level. With each new flight of stairs, you dive deeper into the darkness, and finally, finding yourself on the lowest tier, you plunge into complete, impenetrable blackness like an ocean. After half a minute, when your eyes get used to the darkness, you notice a reflection of torchlight in the depths of the corridor, and also catch snippets of words spoken in a half-whisper. As you move to the light, you step forward carefully, step by step, carefully enough to stop in time when the icy blade of a sword rests on your chest. Alright, here we go. Is this the new Roger? I think this is the new Roger. This is his bodyguard, I assume. I don't recall the mayor inviting someone here. Lower your sword. Do you have any idea who you're talking to? I've arrived in York on behalf of the king, and the king requires no invitation. Is that so? The king, you say? I heard he died in France, betrayed by his men. Perhaps you're one of those betrayers. Perhaps I should execute you on the spot. The tip of the stranger's sword is aimed right at your heart. How dare you speak to me like that? I'm giving you the second and the last warning. Lower the sword or I will break it over your head. That sounds very intriguing. I'd love to see you try that. With all your speed, you reach for the scabbard, but the moment your hand touches the hilt of the sword, the stranger's blade is already at your throat. It is so sharp that it immediately leaves a small wound, from which a few drops of blood appear. Realizing that the odds are not in your favor, you freeze without drawing your weapon. Come on, give me a reason, please. What's going on, Arthur? Who is that? Thank goodness he's an old guy, so I can use my old man voice, yes. A man from London, a king's messenger. The appearance of the mayor lowers the tension and makes the stranger put away his sword. The king? I haven't heard from him for a while. Well, then, let me introduce myself. My name is Milton Dale, Mayor of York. What do we owe the pleasure of your visit to? We have received a letter asking for help, and with it, numerous reports of the invasion of the Scottish armies into the borderlands. The king has made a decision to send an army to protect York. This force is led by me, Sir Critical, Viscount of Hereford. Viscount of Hereford sounds impressive, but I do not see anyone with you. So let me ask you, Viscount, where is that force of yours? It's just me, I'm a space marine. Roads are impassable due to bad weather. My forces remained a few days' march from here. I arrived in the city with only a small vanguard. A small vanguard, you say? Well, in that case, let me welcome you to York, the northern stronghold of the kingdom. You could stay at my residence for the duration of your business here. I will arrange for you to be accommodated properly so that you can have a good rest. The mayor points at the man beside him. This gentleman here is Arthur de Rosamond, my right hand. I see you two got off on the wrong foot, but I'm sure you can leave it all behind and find an understanding. Forgive me my rudeness, Mayor, but the reason I've dragged myself here all the way from the south is neither rest and relaxation in your residence, nor making new friends. I'm here to protect the city from the invaders, and the only thing that I would like to hear from you is Where is the enemy? How numerous are they? And how is the city preparing for the defense? The enemy, the invasion. I sense a lot of fear in your words. Let me assure you, Viscount, that all this nonsense is nothing but rumors perpetuated by the impressionable peasants and various madmen. The city and its surroundings are as safe as they might be, and I sincerely hope that during your stay here, you'll see that for yourself. The more he talks, the more bewildered you get. What do you mean, safe? The city's full of refugees, and everyone around is talking about a massive Scottish army coming from the north. Who is everyone, Viscount? A bunch of drunkards in the city taverns? Illiterate village folks who see a devil under every bush? I suggest you stop listening to their nonsense and come spend this evening at the comfort of my house, where you actually might learn something useful about this place. Otherwise, you could just take a ride to the northern outposts and find out for yourself that there is no danger of any kind of invasion. I have no shortage of ill wishes, Viscount, so you shouldn't trust everything you hear, especially here in the north. I will choose to trust my own eyes then, and take a ride to the outposts. The mayor shrugs his shoulders in disappointment. It is your will, just be careful. I'm sure you won't see any Scots, but running into a gang of brigands is always a possibility, so keep those eyes of yours peeled. The north is a harsh place. And one more thing, in the future, if you ever again consider visiting this place, don't do it alone, and let me or Arthur accompany you. Prison is not a place for casual strolls, Viscount. There are very dangerous people here. I will keep that in mind. Good. Come pay me a visit after you come back. All right. Okay. So basically, there's definitely some kind of weird stuff going on here. This is going to be. I'm going to assume that what we got going on here is kind of like. I don't even know. Like I would have suspected the occult if they hadn't already done something, similar to that effect with Olivia's storyline. Going to go to the mayor's residence, because I'd like to talk to Lena. Happy to see you again, sire. How's your search? Did you find the mayor? I did, but instead of bringing any clarity to the situation, he only further confused me. He claims that there is no Scottish threat. Apparently rumors about the invasion are nothing but falsehoods, fabricated and spread by local drunkards and fearmongers. Oh, well, I told you that he is a bit off. The whole city is trembling with horror, and yet he refuses to acknowledge the reality of the situation. Tell me, Lena, did you actually see any of those Scots yourself? Oh, Lord, sire, of course not. I don't wander around. But you are convinced that they're here, right? Certainly. With every minute spent in York, you find your grasp on reality getting weaker and weaker, and there's no way to tell who's right and who's wrong. And look at her face. She is done. She is so done right here. She's had enough. I've had enough too. Who's lying and who isn't? My father has seen them, sire. He is a hunter and lives in Eldham, a small village not far from the city. I've told you before. I saw him a couple of days ago when he came to visit me. He told me about the Scottish troops that he had spotted up north. I see. In this case, I would like to have a word with him, as soon as I'm done dealing with the outposts. He will help you, I'm sure. He's got a very sharp eye. It's not for nothing that the folks call him the best hunter in the York area, although the years are catching up to him a bit, sadly. I'll come visit him in Eldham as soon as I'm done inspecting the outposts. As you wish, sire. Let me know when you'll be ready to depart. I'll give you the directions. Sure, one more thing. You don't need to call me sire. You can call me by my name. Your words catch the girl off guard and immediately make her blush. As you wish, as you wish. Sir Critical? Relationship improved by 15. Okay, so there we go. Alright, so we've got this. And do I need to go back there and actually tell her that I'm about to set off? You and Lena have nothing to talk about. Okay. And I'm going to assume that I can actually go and speak to the mayor as well. I'm not going to go and speak to the mayor. I don't want to do that again. Oh, he is annoying. Anyway, let's actually go to the I guess we'll go to the advanced outposts, right? Before departing, you suddenly recall that you haven't even had a proper meal since your arrival in York. Upon further reflection, you find nothing better to do than to pay another visit to Lena. She generously treats you to her cooking, which turns out to be surprisingly delicious. Though you'd rather not embark on a journey in the rain, duty compels you onward, and thus you head northward. Based on the map received from the mayor's men, you'll reach the first outpost after about 3 hours of travel. Upon arriving at the purported outpost, you realize that all that remains are a few dilapidated fortifications. Not a soul lingers amidst these ruins. A cursory inspection of the abandoned fortifications yields nothing. You continue on to the next outpost. You see gentle fumes rising from the location of the second. Your hope swells as you draw closer to the barricades and see a group of armed men huddled around a cooking fire outside. The joy of meeting them, however, is short-lived. As soon as you introduce yourself, the men immediately draw their weapons. Alright, I have been hankering for some, slaughtering. I was trying to rhyme with hankering, but shankering? I don't have a dagger, so that doesn't really work. But yeah, anyway. Let's do this. Why am I injured? Why am I injured right now? What? I had no idea that I was injured. Okay, well, that doesn't really matter, I suppose. Hopefully it doesn't matter at least. Oh, wow, that guy just got absolutely murdered. I'm just going to kill him, actually. Boom, he's dead. That was nice and easy. There's another one immediately. Okay, let's just kill him too. There we go. Oh, what? There's another one? Are you serious? Get out of here. Are you joking? Look at that. My guy is doing absolutely insane damage, by the way. Look at his damage right now. He is just... What? Come on, Devilish Hugo. You're giving Fishy Henrik a run for his money. You remember Fishy Henrik, right? From our desert expansion, desert exploration, shall we say? And yeah, I guess I'll loot. I mean, is it worth me looting? Actually, it's not even worth me looting at this point. I have so much cash, and there is basically no point. I don't know. Having emerged victorious, you venture into the outpost for an inspection. It becomes apparent that it too lies deserted, serving solely as a refuge for bandits and wanderers. No sign of military activities can be found here. The mayor's stories about the locked-down northern border are starting to look less and less credible. However, the third and outermost outpost shatters whatever hope you've built up since departing from the second. White and blue Scottish banners flutter about over the fortifications. Upon careful observation, you discern that the Scottish force that captured the outpost is quite small, and likely wouldn't put up much of a fight. You also notice a few prisoners in shackles. Your military experience tells you that a swift assault may take the enemy by surprise, providing you with an opportunity to free the captives. But is the risk justified? Attack. Abandoning allies to their fate is not in your nature. You attack the outpost. I'm not even really doing this for virtue, because my virtue is so low, but I'm literally just doing this because I think it's going to be fun. That's what I'm doing it for. Alright, so I am actually injured, right? Yeah, I have 95 out of 150. Why is that? That is so weird. I'm going to actually heal. Gonna take some medicine right here. Otherwise, I'm actually fine, right? I think I'm actually fine across the board, I think. Yeah, this is going to be very funny, actually. This is going to be super funny because this guy right here, this guy, my man, Devilish Hugo, he's absolutely murdering everything. So let's just kill this guy. Boom. Yeah, they just die. I mean, they're even dying in 2 hits from my guy right here. So this is absolutely crazy. Let's go for the limbs, I guess, a little bit. I mean, even a limb attack does 36 damage. Even limbs. It's crazy. Okay, let's just go for that. He's dead. We've got another one. I'm going to have to do a little bit of recovery here. Nice kill, sir. And look at him. He's just going for it. He's just absolutely going for it. And he seems to be managing his stamina pretty nicely, actually, all things considered. Look at him. He's back up to full. That's pretty crazy. Okay, let's go for another hit. Okay, unfortunate. Yeah, wow. He's hitting more than I am, but I guess that is to be expected considering he does have, what is it? He has an insane amount of weapon skill, right? Yeah, he has an insane amount of weapon skill, so no wonder he's able to do something that amazing. Okay, there we go. Look at that. We're getting so much loot. To your dismay, you discover that the enemy forces are greater in number than you had anticipated. What you envisioned as a blitz attack becomes a prolonged and bloody battle. Suddenly, the enemy soldiers disperse, clearing a path for a towering warrior. Advancing towards you, he speaks. Ah, this is Wallace himself. I'm not entirely sure what to actually... I can't do a Scottish accent. My apologies. It would probably be extremely insulting, so I'm not going to try. But I'm just going to say, enough bloodshed. This war will last long enough for all of us to end up in heaven. I see that you're here to rescue the prisoners. How noble of you. You've earned my respect. We're both knights, so let's settle this in the only way that befits us. One-on-one. All right, let's do it. Agreed. Very well, but since we're up north, let's fight like the northerners do. No armor. What is it, scared? Scared? No, just a little confused and scared. It's not every day that a man in a skirt asks me to take off my clothes. I'm not sure if I'm fond of that idea. It's not a skirt, it's a kilt. Whatever you say, pal. I don't judge. Oh, we're going with the Scottish prejudice right here. I'll shorten that long tongue of yours, Englishman, he says. Come on, step forward, just you and me. All right. Okay, so wait a minute. Do I actually have to take off my armor? Do I actually have to take off my armor? Because I don't have enough space for that. Do I actually have to? Because I actually... Can I discard stuff? I can actually discard stuff from here. Do I want to take off my armor? Is this actually... Wait, can I'm just going to try it. No, I can actually... Oh, okay. I lose virtue for that. All right. Okay, so I should have probably taken off my armor, but I'm kind of I don't know. No, I think I'd be fine actually. I think I would have probably been fine if I mean, he's wearing armor actually. He's wearing knight's braces. Technically that's armor. But yeah, I don't know. That's a funny thing. Is there an achievement for actually killing him without armor on? I actually don't know. I have no idea. I just know that I don't think there is actually an achievement for actually dealing with him at all. But yeah, anyway, we're just going to hit him a little bit here. This guy is probably not going to be able to hit us at all, by the way. So he's just dead. There you go. That's it. 2 hits because we had a critical at the end there, and obviously I still have my skull ring on, so he just went floppy. Anyway, standing firm under Wallace's barrage of blows, you find a gap in his defense and deliver a precise strike, fatally wounding him. Sinking down on his knees and clutching his gaping wound, he attempts several times to rise, but to no avail. Realizing that his end is near, Wallace, with the last bit of his strength, hands you his sword and says, "To be a warrior is to live forever." And there we go. And now we have the Claymore. And some people have said that this is their favorite sword. So thank you very much for the recommendation. I might indeed be using it in a future character, maybe. We'll see. Faithful to the agreement made between you and Wallace, the Scottish soldiers allow you to rescue the captured soldiers and leave unharmed. The road back ends up being uneventful. Upon returning to York, you head straight to the mayor, hoping to receive some kind of explanation regarding what you witnessed at the outposts. You find him seated quietly in a dark office, lit by a solitary candle flickering on the table. Divination cards are laid out on the massive table in front of him, completely absorbing his attention. Yeah, we've got something going on here. Your sudden arrival appears to catch him off guard. He reluctantly lifts his gaze from his cards, not even attempting to hide his annoyance. "You again, Viscount? How was your trip? Have you made sure that everything is all right?" "I hate to disappoint you, Mayor, but what I saw in the north was exactly the opposite of what you described to me. The outposts are deserted. Those closest to the city are overrun with bandits, while the farthest ones have been seized by the Scots." "There is no need to overreact, Viscount. This is not London. This is the north, restless and troubled lands. Scottish raids are not a rare occasion here." "Sire, I don't think you quite comprehend the gravity of the situation." "And I don't think that you do either, Viscount. I did not invite you here, nor did I solicit your advice or help. This is my city, and you're here as a guest, so act like one. If I tell you that there is nothing to worry about, then there is nothing to worry about." And wow, he just kicked us out. Did you see that? He literally just kicked us out. Alright, so our guys can literally just level up massively right here, which is pretty crazy because this is actually the highest I think I've gotten anyone. Maybe Fishy Henrik got to level 19. I think he might have. But these guys, as you can quite clearly tell, if we take a look at their stats, he's got 71 weapon skill, if you can believe that. 71 weapon skill, and he's using a flail. I think I should probably just leave him with the flail. I was thinking of maybe giving him something else, but I'm going to leave him with the flail for now. He's going to do a great job with that, I guess. And I have an axe point to spend as well, and I think the best thing that I can possibly do is go for critical, because even if, you know, if there's a big boss or whatever, I just want to be able to critical that guy, and that's it. And otherwise, I'm actually fine. Let's see what else we need to do. Okay, nothing much. We can go to the mayor's residence and speak to Lena again, which is probably what we're going to end up doing in just a moment. Just going to sell all this stuff, though. There we go. Brigandine? No, I'm just going to sell that. Sell this, sell this, sell this, sell that. And then we can sell that. Can sell absolutely every single thing. Look at that. And we're back up to 15,000. It's actually insane. Okay, so let's go and speak to Lena again. Happy to see you again, sir. Happy to see you again, Sir Critical. Any news from the north? Only bad. Only bad news. The outposts are abandoned. There's no defense against any advances towards the city. And what about the Scots? I've seen a small group of them in the farthest outpost, but that's it. The mayor claims it is just a small-scale raid, but for some reason I'm not convinced. I believe you should find my father and ask him about what he saw. This is exactly what I intend to do. What's the name of the village again? It's Eldham, Sir Critical. It's Eldham. Even I remember that. Eldham, it's not far from the city. Exit through the east gate and continue along the road. Don't turn anywhere, and you should be there in a couple of hours. Once you arrive, just ask for Conrad the Hunter. Everyone knows him. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm very, very intrigued. I'm very intrigued about what's going on here. Find Lena's father in Eldham. Okay, let's do it. Finding Eldham, as Lena promised, turns out to be quite easy, but trouble is never far behind. As it happens, the village is teeming with armed men. You observe them pulling people out of their homes, tying them and throwing them into large, mobile cages. As you approach, several horsemen intercept your path. Among them, you are astonished to recognize Arthur de Rosamond. We meet again, and again at a place that you have no business being. And once again, I don't remember anyone inviting you here. What's going on? What are you doing with these people? These people are criminals, found guilty of heresy and idol-worshipping. They will be fairly trialed and then executed. A fair trial with a predetermined decision doesn't sound that fair to me. Are you questioning the mayor's authority, Viscount? I suggest you watch your mouth. You feel your anger slowly building. You make one last effort to avoid a direct confrontation. I need to talk to one of the locals. His name is Conrad the Hunter. He might know the location of the Scottish forces. And, if you need him, go search for him. As you take a closer look at the cages, you notice that they're already holding roughly half a dozen people. You loudly call out the name of Lena's father. One of the captured peasants immediately responds, turning to you and begging you to free him. You return to Arthur. I found him. I need him alive. Tell your men to let him go. Are you deaf or something, Viscount? Let me tell you one more time. These people are dangerous criminals who have to be trialed and executed. Mayor's orders. It appears your hearing is a bit dull as well, Arthur. Let me tell you one more time, too. That man may possess valuable information that could decide the fate of the city. He alone knows the location of the Scottish army. I need him alive. I missed the part where that's my problem. I'm taking him with me, Arthur, whether you like it or not. Is that so? Well, I'm glad you said that. Tie him up, boys, and throw him in a cage with the rest of these animals. Alright, so we're gonna have to fight. They don't know what they're getting into, actually. They really do not know what they are getting into. They are about to face the wrath of devilish Hugo. I know. You thought I was going to say me, right? No, he's just going to murder them. He's just going to murder them in six ways from Sunday. I mean, literally, look at that. That was a partial armor block as well. That is just crazy. So let's do another one. There we go. He's dead too. This guy's got a two-handed, so he's going to be even easier to hit. Boom, he's dead. And this guy is just going to get focused down by Devilish Hugo in just a moment. I'm just going to continue just restoring myself a little bit. Where's Arthur? Where are you, Arthur? Are you going to come out? Are you going to come out and actually say hi? Or are you just going to be a coward? He seems like he's being a bit of a coward at the moment. Alright. Well, if he wants to. Do you loot the bodies? I guess. I don't really want to loot the bodies anymore. I've got so much cash, and I don't think we're ever going to spend it before the end of the game, potentially, so I don't know. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. It very much depends. Arthur observes silently, a smile playing on his lips, as you systematically slaughter the mayor's henchmen, one after another. Only when the last one of them falls does he finally seem to come to life. Jumping off his horse, he takes off his gloves and cloak, and, drawing his sword, takes a step toward you. However, this showdown is just not to be. As your duel was about to begin, a horseman appears out of nowhere and intercedes between you. Judging by his attire, it's evident that he's another one of the mayor's men. After dismounting from his saddle, the newcomer approaches Arthur and whispers something into his ear, something that causes an immediate change in his expression. He sheaths his sword, picks up the cloak that he had dropped on the ground, and jumps back on his horse. It's a shame, Viscount, but I'm afraid we'll have to postpone this for another time. You can have the peasants. We'll find some new ones. I have no clue what you're doing, but I promise I will bring you all to light. I'll be waiting, but something tells me this is but another empty promise. The world is sinking into the abyss right before your very eyes, Viscount, but you are too blind, too past your own nose. Next time we meet, I will kill you. I give you my word. As soon as Arthur vanishes into the horizon, you release the caged peasants, bringing joy to the entire village. You single out Conrad in order to question him. As Lena said, the old hunter turns out to be an unusually observant individual. He provides a thorough account, detailing not only the location where he spotted the Scots, a sizable lake located a half day's journey to the northwest of Eldom, but also their numbers and weapons. When Conrad finishes his story, you have no doubt that a full-fledged invasion is underway and that the Scots will reach the city any day now. Armed with this hopefully valuable information, you set off back to York. Before you can progress far, a rider emerges from the direction you're headed, a messenger from the sergeant's troops. You already know what he's about to say before he even opens his mouth. After all, there's only one reason for his arrival here. The Scots have arrived in York and the city is under siege. Luckily, because the Scots have yet to completely surround the city, you're able to sneak past their lines and enter York unnoticed. Your love for pillaging has increased. Your toxic... Get out of here. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, so that is very interesting. I am extremely intrigued, and as you can see, my last war has now begun. Discuss the situation in the city with the sergeant. I'm extremely psyched for that. Unfortunately, for this particular episode, it's gonna have to stop. It's gonna have to stop right now, but hopefully you'll join me for the next one. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.